Yay, we're live! Let's fix the owl.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
The Dorkening and all affiliated shows are not intended for anyone under the age of 18. The following may contain discussions or scenes that have adult situations, graphic violence, nudity, strong sexual content, and graphic language. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Unprinted Pages. And we have the amazing Heather Hancock with us. She is an amazing poet, she is an author, and she has told us about her journey with cerebral palsy and osteoarthritis in her articles. Welcome to the show, Heather.
I'm so privileged to be here. Thank you for having me.
And I am so blessed for you to be here. If you don't mind, tell us a little bit about yourself before we get started.
Well, I was born very premature, weighing 1 pound 6 ounces at birth, and should have died within 24 hours, but God had other plans. So 55 years later, here I am. I worked in healthcare for 25 years before having to medically retire at the age of 44. And that's when I started writing seriously, though I have been writing since I've been about 8. So it's always been something I've loved to do. And I published my first novel last year. So that's me in a nutshell. I live in Saskatchewan, Canada, and that's a prairie province sort of north of Montana for the US viewers.
And she's like directly above us. So, yeah, that is like
Yeah.
so weird that we're on the same time zone. I didn't expect to meet a lovely lady from Canada that was like so close. Well, kind of. I'm all the way at the bottom of the United States in Texas.
Okay, yes, I know where Texas is.
Um, you had you've been working in the medical care for 22 years, you said?
Yeah.
I was a CNA and you were a nurse?
Well, I was supposed to be a nurse, but I had to give it up halfway through the RN training program many moons ago because my legs gave out. So
Okay.
I
Yeah,
took
that
an
would be hard.
office administration course and combined the two to be a unit clerk for 22 years.
That is amazing. And that's you um saw so many things and probably learned a bunch of stuff being a clerk.
Yeah. Yeah, we're sort of the glue that holds everything together on a
Yes,
ward or in a clinic. So yeah.
that was amazing. Um has your diagnosis uh fueled your poetry?
Yeah, I started to write poetry when I was 13. Unfortunately, my childhood wasn't very happy. Uh, my mom was very narcissistically abusive, and I was the first child mainstreamed into the public school system in my city. So that was great for my education, but bad for my social life. Because they bullied me from kindergarten through grade 12. So, and it wasn't just them, their parents, especially when I was in kindergarten. My kid can't play with yours because he or she might catch something, that kind of idea. Um,
I understand the bullying. I was bullied as well, but for totally different reasons.
it doesn't take much to give them a reason.
My size and my asthma and
Yeah,
them not being sure if they won't be able to breathe too if they touch me and all that good junk. I get the idea.
yeah, exactly. So, so yeah, that's what happened there. Um, did I answer that question fully?
Yeah, and you have poetry on your website
Yeah.
and an anthology, and you're making you have are I don't know if you're ready to tell about your poetry book yet.
I'm just in the process, the very beginning process of trying to organize poems into some kind of trying to tell a story with the poetry. So that's a bit
Oh,
of a challenge. Hang on one
so
second.
okay,
Oh,
that
that's better. There we
that
go.
would be wonderful.
Yeah. So it's just trying to figure out what poems and then what order, kind of thing.
That would be awesome. The poetry from the anthology that I have read and your website are gorgeous. I
Thank you.
also really don't want to be in the forest fire from the one, but yeah, how you described it was beautiful.
Yeah. It was a bad forest fire series a season when I wrote that summer. So uh, yeah, I thought I'd try to describe it for people.
I can picture it. In the other two, are there poetry? The other two anthologies are. I just found about them yesterday. Are
Yeah.
there anthologies or just short stories, or do you just have a story or something about you?
The other two anthologies are nonfiction Christian anthologies about
Mhm.
intercession. So that's a type of prayer. So I have a chapter in each of those about different experiences I've had with that. So that's what those are about. It's called Call to Intercede.
That is awesome, and you are very devout, and I find that beautiful. And I can understand seeking God in
Yeah,
all the pain.
he kind of found me and saved me when I was 14 and very suicidal. So
I'm grateful.
all that bullying took its toll, as well as some other abuse. So yeah, God literally ran to me and saved me. So
I'm glad he took you into his arms and let us have you now because you have so much uh, to teach, and I appreciate you being willing. Um, your story in the coffee house writers leads into Sister Lost.
yeah, I didn't know it was going to do that when I wrote it. Claire Langstrom's the main character. She appeared on my screen in a writing sprint one day,
Oh,
and the anthologies were coming up, and I wanted to explore her relationship with her mom. So I wrote that short story called Everything is Relative
hmm,
um, for the anthology, not realizing it would end up being a prequel to Sister Lost, which was, I didn't know I was going to write a book, but she wouldn't leave me alone. So, so Sister
and
Lost became a thing.
yes, and how okay from my experience, how well you wrote her mother with all of the different aspects about her. I could see that in people in my life. I'm like, well, yeah, that was spot on how she reacts.
Yeah, Sybil's a composite character, so what that means is she's created from my experiences with my mom and all sorts of other people I've encountered as a unit clerk, as a patient, as what in various formats going through life, coworkers, etc. So
Oh, wow.
yeah.
What was your favorite part about writing the book and how she led into the book?
Well, it was a bit of a surprise for me. Like I said, I wasn't anticipating writing a novel after I wrote the short story, but once she wouldn't leave me alone, I started to pray because when I write books, I kind of partner with God on them. So
Oh
I was
yeah,
like, okay, if you still want me to work with Claire, then what's the story we're telling? And God made it abundantly clear that this was my opportunity to tell the world a little bit about the history of how people with disabilities were treated from the early 1800s through to the 2000s. Um, and it actually impacted my life when I was young, or would have had my parents decided to give the doctors give in to the doctor's recommendation, which they did not. They did not put me in institution. There was a time when all disabled people in Canada were in institutions and out of public sight.
the same in the
Through,
U.S.
yeah, I've learned it's quite similar, and they weren't happy places. They were more like prisons.
They were prisons. They were abusive. It was horrid.
It was horrid. Yeah. So I took on that challenge and wove that through the story, and also took some opportunity to educate a little bit about cerebral palsy, which is the disorder that I have. It's a neurological disorder. We were told that it's lack of oxygen at birth that causes it, but there's research being done now in adults with CP that's revealing there is actually multiple reasons a person might have this diagnosis,
Oh wow.
including 30% chance of it being somehow genetically related, which we were told when I was young was not the case at all. Um, but research is starting to kind of pull back the veil on this and exposing what is and isn't true. So it's kind of exciting. Um,
It's
though,
exciting.
yeah,
Definitely.
I won't benefit from any treatments that come out of the research, but the younger generations behind me will. So that makes it all worth it. Can you hear me all right? Do I need to
Yeah,
turn
I
my
can hear
volume up?
you.
Good.
No,
Okay.
you're wonderful. You sound wonderful. I'm just listening and I'm leaning in because I actually really do want to hear what you have to say. I want to find out about your story and which one of the characters in the story would be the one you just want to sit with and have a coffee date with and uh I want to find out more about cerebral palsy and all the different um, aspects of that, and tell the world. And also, as you have asked them to take more time and put more interest in how it works as you get older and why
Yeah.
these symptoms are happening.
Yeah, it's part of the research too, but we'll get into that whenever you're ready.
I'm ready when you are.
Well, we should
Which
probably just keep going with that since I kind of opened the door already.
oh yeah, that well I was going to continue asking questions as we go and get into that. Which of the characters would be like the most fun to sit down with
Mm.
and have like coffee or your favorite beverage and talk with and just enjoy a chat?
The most fun character for me would be Claire's best friend, Kendra. She's like the best friend that all of us want to have. Um, And she's got such a witty sense of humor that it's just hilarious. So yeah, she'd be my favorite one because we could sit down and have enjoy some Haagen-Dazs, which is my favorite ice cream. Um, and yeah, have a good laugh.
That would be awesome. Okay, now I want to know what flavor Haagen-Dazs. And yes, Kendra is the type of friend. Hey, I gotta take a flight to go see about my mom. Can you come stay at my house and take care of my dog? Okay, I'll be there later tonight with my bag. She's
Yeah,
that type of friend. Okay, she's
exactly.
amazing. Okay, what's your favorite flavor of ice cream? And then we'll continue. Now I'm curious.
Well, it's in the book.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you did put your favorite flavor as ah.
Yes, Claire and Kendra share a joy for Haagen-Dazs. So
Ooh. Okay. Yes, now we must all read the book. I'm getting my hard copy uh, as soon as we get paid because that is on my plan. But
yes, it's a rather large book too.
so I like big books and I cannot lie.
Yeah, I did it that way.
It's beautiful though. And I love the cover artist.
Yeah, I was so blessed to have a friend of mine who's very well known here in Saskatchewan, a local artist. Um, he volunteered to paint the front cover for me.
It's a painting.
Yeah, let me just move a little. Can you see that?
Yeah, I can
Okay,
see
there we go.
that. That is amazing.
So he did a full size canvas, and then he took a picture of it and made a JPEG for me to work with for the cover.
Oh, that is like totally epic. That is the first time I've seen anything like that.
So it makes it really original.
Please tell him that he is amazing.
I will
And,
pass that on.
okay. As we move forward through the book, you said that the book explores cerebral palsy in the character's life and the how that works.
Yeah, I'm not going to give away who the character is, but
That's fine.
there is a character that has CP later in the story, and
Okay.
so I put her and Claire into some situations where I kind of can expose how public treats us out in stores and things like that, and some of the things that we have to deal with. So, trying to make people think about how,
Please.
yeah, how they treat people in wheelchairs and so on when they enter stores or restaurants or go to social events or whatever. How try to show that there's not a lot of accessibility sometimes, and also showing the inner kind of workings of what a day looks like with CP. So
Oh yeah, it should not be so hard to get things like ramps and stuff in certain places or a fight to get them to put it in your own home.
or an accessible washroom,
Yeah,
one where they actually consult a disabled person.
that that is hard.
Yeah. So we're
Now
kept out of a lot of things.
that I can understand.
Yeah.
That I can actually see in my life.
Yeah. Barriers create exclusion. So,
Oh yeah. That is why we always stop if we're asked to grab something on a higher shelf or whatever. If they asked you to help get something higher and they can only stand up so far because they're stooping, it doesn't matter what their disability is, help or accommodate, whatever. It's
exactly.
not hard on certain levels. So, yeah,
No.
uh,
And sometimes some disabled people are too shy to ask because they've been rejected too many times. So it's okay to say, "Excuse me, can I reach something for you?" Uh, And if they say no, go away, fine. Let them be independent. Um, but it may just be what they're waiting for and what they're needing. I've learned how to ask, but I couldn't always.
Oh yeah, it's hard at the beginning because all of that, uh, the insult, the injury.
Yeah.
I just really cannot talk today. I apologize. I'm trying, but words are hard. What is like one of the biggest things you want us to take away about your book?
It's a roller coaster ride. It's an emotional roller coaster ride. Lots of twists and turns, things that aren't expected. Um, I write very character driven fiction and very dialogue heavy fiction. So, uh, reviews so far are in agreement that it sucks you in and it doesn't let you out till you're done. So, it's a page turner, and that's intentional.
I can attest to that with your short stories. I can attest to that with your poetry. She is a beautiful author. She has a beautiful way with words.
Thank you.
Um, I think the only thing that threw me off was certain phrases are said different in Canada than they
Yes.
are down here. But with me finding out you are from Canada from Trish, I was able to figure out, oh, that's probably just how they talk because she talks like that in our conversations.
Yeah. That's just a part of being Canadian. And Sister Lost is set in Canada. So there's Canadian spelling that might throw a few people. Canadians, it's a mixture of US, UK, and French. You can imagine what our spelling tests were like in school. So,
Oh yeah, I'm just grateful there's not like a whole lot of Canadian slang in it because that's on a couple of people I've had to look up what they were saying. I'm like, oh, that is not what I thought that meant. But yeah,
yeah, I don't write with slang too much. Not a big fan of that myself, so
that
I
I
don't
understand.
speak with a lot of it or anything like that. The odd A may come out, but I try and
That's
curtail that
fine.
as well.
And
Yeah,
the I know my friend is from Ohio, but he says about a whole lot like I've heard them Canadians say in
we
various
just
movies.
yeah we
So
just say about. So
yeah, it's kind of different, but it's not a bad thing. But I probably say words odd as well. So yeah.
it's just different areas and regions where we live. The inflections and pronunciations are a little different.
Oh yeah, like it is down here the and probably a different way of thinking about saying things. So
Hmm.
that has been amazing. Seeing the different the way things are said from different countries, not just Canada, but also in Australia and everything.
Yeah, yeah. There's a little bit of Italian in the book too, and
Ooh. Yes. This is
that
going to be good,
certain
guys.
deli owners, shall we say? Yes.
Ooh. So, are there any places we should look out for in case we want to make it a game? Of like seeing how close a place is, like a real place in Canada,
Okay, the only things that are real are the cities. So
a city.
Toronto, yeah, Toronto's real. Vancouver's real. Vancouver General Hospital is real. Um, the hospital where Claire works in Toronto does not exist.
Oh, okay. Well,
The street she lives on and the hospital's on does exist, but neither of those places are there. Actually the longest street in Toronto. So, and
ooh,
High Park exists there. The rest of the places are fictional.
okay, cool.
And any events or even the history that I tie in. In my research, I just made a composite institution based on my reading of different institutions. So it's not easily identified as being a specific place. Uh,
The what happened is real, but the place is not.
yes, exactly.
Oh,
Exactly.
that is
So,
cool.
yeah. And all the characters are fictional.
All the characters are fictional. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that's good to know. And um, if when any of the places you wrote about could be real, which one would you want to be real, though?
I'd kind of like to meet Uncle Walter and Aunt Lydia and hang out at their farmhouse. That was pretty cool.
Okay. Um, if you're okay, are you okay with this starting the teaching part of the show?
Sure.
Okay, because as the ostro, you had
Osteoarthritis.
said osteoarthritis is a part of cerebral palsy. Has
No,
anybody? Well, not
it's
the not the, as no, that is not what I mean. Not a part of cerebral palsy, but it's part of as your life as you joint went farther. Okay, how how
part
has
of,
things added?
yeah, part of aging with cerebral palsy. It's been kind of an adventure because when you're a kid, you're just told that you have to go through all these surgeries and treatments and things to become as functional as possible for adulthood.
Hmm.
What they don't tell you is you can lose it later in life. And that starts to happen usually around late 20s, early 30s. That's when I was diagnosed with osteoarthritis in both my knees. Now it's throughout my body, my spine, every joint, I think, except wrists, maybe. Um, but everywhere else, yeah.
Okay.
And then other things, you just start to lose function. I could walk independently till I was 29. I have a form of CP called spastic diplegia. It means mostly my legs are affected, though my arms are a little bit spastic. But as I'm getting older, the spasticity um, systemically all over my body is getting worse. So CP is measured by function. It's called a gross motor function scale. It's from 1 to 5, and for most of my life I was a 1. Right now I'm between a 3 and a 4.
Okay.
So I have lost my ability to walk independently. I use a four-wheeled walker when I walk, but I only walk about 30% of the time. The rest of the time I'm in a wheelchair. You can't see the walker behind me, but it hides nicely behind the chair.
That's okay. I get the idea. I know exactly how it what it I probably have seen the model. I working in as a CNA.
Probably, yeah. The highlights or the model of the walkers, the evolution, yeah.
Okay. And you said you have both a normal wheelchair and a electric wheelchair to help with mobility?
I do have a power chair, but I'm not a big fan of it. And then since I've hit menopause, I've gained weight, so I don't fit into it very well anymore. So I just got a new wheelchair, a manual wheelchair, and I much prefer pushing.
I can understand that. Oh my gosh, I
Mm-hmm.
didn't think about adding menopause to on top
Oh,
of it, but being a lady,
yeah. Hmm.
well, being a female, it oh, hi Mike. Uh his name on here is Paladin
Artia.
Artea, but in real life he's one of the authors of Fake Core, Michael Guzman.
Okay,
He's
nice.
a really lovely person. Yes, please check out his work. But
Yeah.
my question is, uh, you said you like being able to move the other wheelchair better.
Yeah,
Does
I
that
like to
like
self propel.
does that um make it easier to get around the house being able to self-propel than
Well, with power chairs, your control is the joystick, and it tends to be very sensitive, even if you're on turtle speed, which is the lowest setting.
mm,
Um, I just find I have more control and I can stop a manual wheelchair on a dime, not so much a power chair once you get going too fast. So,
okay.
yeah.
Thank you. Um, you sorry, I'm just so this the idea of cerebral palsy and the different things you're going through. I'm not trying to trip over my words, but I'm trying to not be like overly aggressive in my questioning and try to respectfully figure out how to ask. Um, so the as a person with better mobility, not many understand that it comes with constant pain, and you're aggravated because you can't do as much as you'd like. Does that how does that does it I know it takes a toll on your mental health, but it also takes a toll on your daily life. What would you like us to know about that?
When you live with chronic pain and chronic fatigue, each day is a challenge to balance how much energy you have for the day. And each day is different based on the level of pain. And so I have to be very cognizant of what my body's telling me. Like when I realized the podcast was yesterday, because I blanked it out. Um,
Understand that.
I
And we had to
immediately
you had to give me a spoon or 12. I hope it wasn't 12. Please
oh,
not let it be
I
12.
don't have 12 for a day, so
Okay.
I probably
I
only
just
have 4 spoons for a day. So
okay. I hope I didn't take 3 of them.
you're taking about half, but I
I'm
had a
sorry.
very relaxing morning. I made myself not do much, so it's all good.
Okay.
But
And
that's
for
what I
those
mean. You just sort of adjust on the fly.
oh yeah, for those who don't understand, sometimes you have 12 spoons, sometimes you have 2, and what you have to do to get through the day can depend on how much gets done.
Exactly.
And but thank you for letting me have 2 of your spoons.
Oh, you're
I am
welcome.
grateful. I
You're
am
welcome.
I'm just uh the idea just makes me cry, and it's from watching so many of my residents and family members, and then I understand the idea of the pain, but I don't know how it feels to be in your position. So
I'm
um
glad you don't.
I am too. um
For me, in the journey, the path of pain that I call it, um, it's amazed me how much a physical body can handle,
yes it is.
especially, especially when it keeps getting ramped up. So I live at a 8 to 9 out of 10 on the pain scale, 24/7. The
What?
doctors don't want to address my pain at all, so I have nothing
No,
for pain.
no they don't, and I find it horrid.
Mm. Not that I want anything like opioids or whatever, because with CP it doesn't, the mix isn't good. But there is research being done on the different kinds of pain that people with CP live with, especially as we get older. Though some children with athetoid form and other forms of CP do experience high levels of pain as well.
I have
Um,
no doubt there's pain. I just on top of the CP and the arthritis.
yeah, CP causes spasticity. Spasticity. Um, and the best way I can describe it is imagine the worst Charlie horse you've ever had in your life and multiply it
Mhm.
1,000 times and then apply it to most of the muscles in your body all at the same time.
I've had it happen to my legs at the same time, 2 Charlie horses now having that. Okay,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah, I agree with Mike. It sounds like hell.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, it could be, but I choose not to look at it that way. You addressed mental
Yeah.
health, so mindset is important.
Oh, yeah.
um, you have to keep yourself. Not that I don't have my days where I have a good cry. That happens. But when I was
You're
younger,
human.
yeah, when I was younger, I'd get stuck there for a while. I've learned to not let myself go longer than a day now before I pull myself out of that. Because then you don't get into the dark pits of depression.
Oh, yeah.
um, so yeah, I give myself a day if I'm going to have a crying jag. I've had Charlie horses, but there was one screaming constantly. Yeah.
For several minutes, his Charlie horses had him screaming for several minutes one day. His 9 to 10 on that pain scale that day. No, I don't think I want to have that again either. That was insane. But
Yeah.
also, the thing switching between documents and this, and I accidentally turned something else on. And another thing that people don't understand is all the pain is exhausting, and
Yes,
you
it
have
completely wiped you
well, I
out.
say you. My mother-in-law has chronic fatigue from her arthritis.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, that and we take, or I take, I can't say we because not every person with CP does. A large percentage of us are on antispasmodic medications, so it's to lessen the spasms. But part of the side effects of those meds is fatigue or sleepiness.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, that's also in there as well.
Yes. Um, the amount of medicines that do cause drowsiness is
That's the
that's
word.
a learning curve as well, because not some things don't cause some people drowsiness and some others do, and some it says on the bottle will cause drowsiness. I bring that up because I know not everybody understands that idea.
Yeah, and everybody's body is different. I take a very large dose of baclofen, which is the main antispasmodic used for CP. Most people, it wipe my dose would put into bed for the day, but I can function. So
That I've heard about that one before from my residents. Thank you for explaining.
I, I remember I haven't had a GP in a while because he retired about 10 years ago. Um, but I remember him looking at me one day and saying, I don't know how you're still functioning with all these meds. I'd be comatose in bed. I'm just like, well, they don't affect me quite like that. So,
You build up a tolerance, or your body just doesn't
but,
naturally react to some of them the way others would.
well,
And
not if you're needing it for what it's actually made for. It kind of reduces that, I think.
oh yeah, it's like people that don't understand how caffeine can put some to sleep and be a stimulant to others. It all depends on the person.
Exactly. Or opioids, pain relievers. As long as you actually have pain, there's no
Hmm.
risk really of addiction. It's when
Hmm.
you don't have the pain and you keep taking them that there's a problem.
Oh
So,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Um, I am trying to keep everything condensed and down to the hour we agreed because I know this is tiring.
Oh no, it's
Um,
fine.
the would you please tell us about the hyper? hypersensitivity of so
That was a
people may
surprise.
understand.
Well, I didn't know that was a thing until it happened.
Yeah.
Um, hy- hypersensitivity, it's part of like that they've now identified 3 different kinds of pain that people with CP have to deal with on a daily basis. I can't get my mouth around all of the terminology quite yet to tell you what the 3 different ones are. Neuropathic, nociceptic, and one other one. But they're still trying to figure out like one of those pain types doesn't work well with opioids. So opioids aren't
Oh,
a good pain killing option for us. If you can get them, which you can't, because in Canada there's a sort of a ban on doctors prescribing opioids because of
okay.
the problems with fentanyl on the streets and stuff. Somehow that's our
Yes.
problem. um,
If it's one person's problem, it's everybody's problem. That is what they've decided because they
yes,
can't tell who needs it and who doesn't, even though it's very clearly in front of them. But
you would think, but not so clear to them, I don't think.
no, it's like whenever one kid gets in trouble and everybody in the whole classroom gets in trouble, that sort of idea.
Yeah, kind of. Sorry, what was the question? I lost my.
The hypersensitivity. If
Yes.
you'll explain to us about that, please.
Well, it's it's hard to describe, but um, touch, any kind of like fabrics on my skin,
Hmm.
or people touching me sometimes. Um,
Or a
like
piece of hair falling
when a
and
hair
goes
falls,
thud.
yeah, it feels like it goes thud on whatever part of my body it lands on. If it hits material, it's fine, I can't feel it, but if it hits my skin, it feels like it lands with a thud.
I'm not laughing at the fact that it's real. I'm laughing at your phrasing. I want to make sure that because that was beautiful, and it gave a clear picture.
Yeah, yeah, that's hypersensitivity. When you look down and you realize it was just a hair, you're kind of like, yeah,
That that is a nightmare.
really. It can be. But again, your body gets used to it to a certain degree as well, and you learn to avoid weights of blankets on your feet at night and things like that.
Trying to stay warm, but also not trying to get sensitized.
Yeah,
That
yeah, it's
is
bad
an.
enough we have their startle reflex still. So
Mhm,
I don't know if you've been around people with CP, but sudden noises and stuff will make us jump quite
mhm.
visibly. That's the startle reflex. It usually goes away after babies lose it, but we don't. We have the joy of having it throughout our entire lives. So, those fire drills you get at work and
Mhm.
whatever. Yeah, that's just a lovely
That
day for us.
scares the heck out of you. It technically
There's
scared
no
the heck out of me.
there's actually no fear involved. It's just an autonomic response. Your body just jumps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, Um,
It's like
when
somebody flips a switch and so you're just jumping out of your chair.
yeah, the that feeling of knowing it's going to happen whether you like it or not.
Exactly. So you just have to be ready to throw your brakes on a walker or
Hmm.
if you're seated, it's usually okay. Even if your bum leaves the seat, it's not a big deal. You're not going to fall out. But
No, the chair arms help, but um, yeah,
yeah, it's noticeable though. People do notice and kind of look, and you're like,
I can't help it. It's just part of me.
exactly. Yeah.
What um what is the one message you want us all to know that are trying to learn and trying to, or those who need, who it would help in learning where we should, what we should know, or where we should start, or the best idea.
Well, cerebral palsy is actually the largest disabled population in the world, and we have the least funding.
Yes.
There's 18 million people globally with CP, from children through to all. I think the oldest person I know with CP is close to 80.
Okay.
So that's 18 million within the whole lifespan living right now. And we get, in Canada, there's, what is it, 600,000? And we get 52, or no, sorry, that was North America. So Canada and the US combined, there's probably about 1.14 million people with CP, and we get $52 million worth of funding between our two countries per annum per year.
Okay.
Whereas MS Society by itself gets 42 billion in the US alone.
That that is,
For much less of a population number.
but it's more well known
Anyway,
than.
back to your question. I'm digressing.
It's okay. Digression is fine.
People with CP, there's different forms. So, like I said, I'm spastic diplegic. Hemiplegic means affected all on one side. And the spastic form of CP is the most common. Athetoid is the one that people most associate with a person with CP. Those are the people that are in wheelchairs with what's called gross jerky spasms. So their limbs
Mhm.
fling out. They can't control the muscles in their tongues to talk, but they understand everything. Most people with CP are at average intelligence or above. Even athetoid, they're just kind of trapped there, not able to communicate. Though there are augmentative devices that they can use now to speak for them, which is lovely. So I think what I would most want to say is people with CP are simply that, human beings. And you need to remember that there's a person inside that body. Don't assume that we can't speak because we're in a wheelchair or we're on a walker. I can't count the number of times my husband gets asked, with me sitting right beside him, about me in the third person as though I'm not there. And he just usually looks at me and says, and nods, and I just take it from there. But the reactions, either they get horrified and walk away, or embarrassed and walk away, or they kind of regroup and we end up having a conversation. So more
That,
often it's the first one.
yes. All of that, please. They're human. Please talk
Exactly.
to them directly.
And if a person has athetoid form and is having has garbled speech, just really listen and let them be slow. Don't
Mhm.
get irritated because they're struggling. Um, if they don't have somebody there to help translate, so to speak, it's a bit
Mhm.
of a skill. I mean, I grew up around people with disabilities. It was funny when I was a kid, before the age of 5. I was in therapy groups a lot
Mhm.
and in hospitals recovering from surgeries. And it was really interesting. We just did it organically.
Mhm.
Um, we all could suss out pretty quickly who was strong and who was weak in what, and you just helped each other out
Mhm.
in the hospital and in therapy, and without even thinking about it. It was a bit of a shock to go to an able-bodied school and not have anybody there to do that. Um, yeah, so we have the blessing of learning how to do that early on. Um, it would just be very interesting if the rest of the world could learn how to do that too, and I think we'd all get along a lot better. But
That is where the round table began. The one in the beginning.
oh,
The We had a bunch of different kids with disabilities, and my now husband and a couple of my friends, we would help them get to breakfast, and we got permission in between classes to help them get two classes,
mm-hmm.
and we would just make sure to the best of our abilities that they would be taken care of. It's a round it became the red round table because that's literally all the tables were red and we chose the round table.
Okay.
Okay, have a good day, and please tell your wife that we say hi. So yeah, I get the idea. I agree. Help in any way you can. We have been trying since we were
Mm-hmm.
teenagers. That is why we became medical professionals, CNAs and nurses and whatever in our family to learn how to help to the best of our ability. It's
Exactly.
just I don't know how in like the 20 years of my life that I've been working in and out of nursing homes that I haven't either known or been given a resident who has had cerebral palsy. I may have
Mm,
and not been told, but I just learned how the ability to do whatever task is works, and I'll help them from there. Sometimes I'm like, I have to ask them, okay, they have not explained this to me. Tell me what you need for me to do to help, and then go for there.
yeah,
It's become an automatic response. So
that's
um,
perfect.
more people I en I hope more people from this and, the different videos I shared without knowing, because I shared a video earlier about, cerebral palsy and how, people in the Black community here in the US were not getting the help they deserve at the
Yeah,
beginning, and they decided they were gonna create their own, outlet to learn about it and get what they needed. So yeah, it's insane about what we don't know and we're not willing to learn.
yeah, yeah. It's kind of sad to think in 55 years nothing much has changed along
Yes,
those lines. At least it hasn't progressed as quickly as I would have liked. But I would
I
have
hope
hoped by now that bullying would have been eradicated, but that is not the case. So
no, it's not that
the only,
my kids were bullied, and all my youngest is autistic and my oldest is she's not as bad as my youngest. Well, she's not bad, but the way they present is what I'm saying. So, yeah, and
not
they were
as
bullied.
severely affected.
Yeah, severely affected. Thank you. Like I said, words are hard and I'm trying to learn more. So, yes, better phrasing. That is the right way I'm trying to say. But yeah,
Yeah.
um I guess my last question, um you are a Christian inner healing coach, public speaker, and do those two coincide or
Not usually.
okay? But I love the Christian coach in general. I love that being able to
Yeah,
talk to somebody.
yeah. I do that sort of very on the side as God brings people. I'm focused on my writing now, but yeah, the door is there for people if they need somebody to talk to. But it's just that God healed me, so I just try to use the same methods that He used with me to help others. And part of what I do with my writing is hopefully heal through the written word as well. That's my goal anyway. So that's what I'm trying to do.
I know you've sparked a conversation with my mother-in-law and I this morning.
Really?
Because we normally have different conversations about God
Hmm.
and how he works through like her and her nurses or her how it helps her understand better, but also the understanding of you have like a short different not different a short amount of time after a stroke to get certain medications to a patient.
1 hour.
Yes.
The
And
golden
what
hour.
the golden hour and how that will affect them moving forward, and how she had been praying for this one resident to she prays for all of her residents, and but this one she had prayed hard about that they could make it through, and she did get through that amount of time. The medications did help, and they were able to be sent on to the bigger hospital that was more able to take care of them.
Right.
So the fact that they were able to find a way with that that
Yeah.
um my okay, my question is, as a Christian coach, you said find you were given people find a way to you, are they're help to you by God, or
Yeah.
how
God will
normally.
cross our paths, basically, is what happens usually.
Oh,
Um, yeah.
that is beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, as a Christian, Jesus and God and Holy Spirit all are, it's Trinity, right? Three in one, one in three. So
Mhm,
we work together. And yeah. So if that's not your faith base, then
mhm.
you need somebody else with your faith base to help. But this
My
is my faith
Christian
base.
Martha's usually my mother-in-law is usually my Christian coach. We sit and we talk and we read and we share different our preacher ends up pre-recording his well, it records live and then we can go back and re-listen. So we go back and we re-listen and we talk
Yeah.
and whatever, because sometimes it takes a second listen to get everything. So what I'm thank you for being there for people and doing that.
You're welcome. Yeah, the inner healing part is to heal the damaged parts of the heart and soul from abuse,
Hmm.
and bullying and stuff like that. So
Oh yeah, you also in a anthology about that subject matter and how it about different abuses and how it um
yeah,
affects.
yeah, yeah. The
And
survivor memoirs. Um, None of the authors are named fully, so for not keep us anonymous. But yeah, yeah. There's. It's important that we tell our stories so people
yes,
know they're not alone.
that that is also one I definitely want to recommend during the show, because I know many people have been through different forms,
Yeah.
and uh,
The one that's out is on child sexual abuse. So
I definitely
CSA.
recommend checking it out on finding out that you're not alone and there are other people who understand. And
And there's hope.
I know I have tripped over my words a lot. This is new ground, but I'm also
Well, you're trying to cover a lot in one interview too, so that makes it more harder.
oh yes, but thank you. We are reaching our hour, so
Oh, are
and I
we?
don't want to
Yeah.
take so much more of your energy because I know it's hard.
Oh no, it's fine. It's not hard to do the podcast because I'm not exerting any physical energy. It's all mental.
Okay. Um,
So,
I guess my because I tried to keep them within the hour because I knew well, I had a basic idea from my residents and family members on what may or may have happened throughout your day might make it harder to do this. So I didn't know how hard your day was before me, so I wanted to keep
I
it short.
yeah, no, I appreciate very much their concern for that. I'm not used to people taking that into consideration. So
Nice.
I usually, like I said, adjust my day accordingly. So I'm not doing much today, other
Okay.
than this, and that's just fine.
And I want to thank you for being here. And my last question is, what is okay? Technically, two, because I usually ask two questions at the end of the show. Uh, can zombies climb? Because I don't know if you were a zombie fan.
No,
You have no idea, so that's
no
okay.
idea.
So yeah, between the two podcast interviews, we usually ask that question because it is a really fun question for those who are zombie fans. And the other question is, um, where is the most comfortable place in your home to write? Where is your favorite place?
Here at the desk,
You're at
sitting
the
in
desk.
my chair. I've got a laptop. I can take it with me and sit in the recliner if I need to, but I find I'm more productive if I'm actually at a desk, um,
Okay.
and focused. So that's and I need quiet. Some writers need music, but that's not me.
I never have quiet. I have three kids.
Oh, yeah, no.
Like I
Yeah.
can hear one outside the door right now. So, I guess the last thing is, was there any before we end, and was there anything you want, any message you want to leave for all of us fans, and where do you want us to find you?
Um, well, you can go to my website at heather-hancock.com. My
It's
book
in the show notes.
Yeah, my book Sister Lost is on Amazon. It's also on in ebook form on Kobo, Nook, Apple Books, and a few others. Um, and I am currently working on a book of poetry, and I have a first draft of a second novel waiting for me to do the first revisions on. So I'm busy with all of that. And hope to have both of those published this year, but we'll see. Like I say, I have to adjust for my energy, but that's my goal anyway.
That is awesome. Thank you for sharing with us.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's been a blast.
And if you want to find me, I'm here on the Owlite Network, Faycore, and Friday's Disorganized Library. And thank you so much, Heather, for being here. And
You're
I hope
so welcome.
everybody has an amazing day. Okay, hold on.